Happy Friday. Let's talk Broncos community. We're back for a special live episode. As you can see, if you're over on Twitter watching now, I need you to hop on over to the YouTube and or the Facebook so you can get your questions and comments highlighted. Today, we're doing bold predictions with the Let's Talk Broncos crew. I'm here with Zach Seegers and Joey Richards. I'm Bri Maestas. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy it is Friday. I'm happy it's Friday. I'm excited for college football. I'm excited for NFL football. I'm excited that I like it when I've also had enough with the primetime games. I agree, but I kind of enjoy my Sundays when I just get to watch Red Zone all the way through the day and just go game to game. That's the best. I love it. So I'm looking forward to this Sunday as well. Zach, how are you doing, man?
Doing great. Grabbing links and whatnot. I'm feeling great. Ready to get into this Broncos game. Hopefully they win.
Talking about primetime football, it is Monday night football. So we've been telling you, be careful what you wish for, Broncos country. But maybe they turned it around. Maybe Monday's a different result. This is now 4 out of the 6 primetime games that the Broncos have now been a part of. I say bring it on. I'm putting the war paint on. I'm ready for a showing. I want the Broncos offense to step it up. I'm really excited about it. And I think we have some bold predictions that are going to either support that or maybe not. I don't know what your guys' is. I'm hoping it's a big game here on Monday night. I do want to say there's a lot of people hopping over here in the chat. As you can see, we're live. So search YouTube or Facebook for Mile High Sports. Find the live stream. Hop on over and start interacting in the chat. We'll get your questions, comments highlighted.
The links are dropped below too on Twitter.
Good
Twitter,
job,
if
Zach.
You're watching over on good job, Zach. Thank you for getting that for everybody.
Props, right? I can tell Zach wants some props right there.
You know what the props are.
I'm trying to help.
You haven't retweeted the stream yet, so I'll just remind you real quickly to go ahead and get that out there while we're getting everyone settled. And then we'll jump right into it. Like I already alluded to, these are bold predictions for Monday Night Football. We'll be back once more before the game. We'll have a Saturday preview show, which will go over things to watch for players of the game, score predictions, and all that fun stuff. But today we're going to do a little bit of a rundown of what we think might happen. But first, I wanted to touch on some of the not so great news. With Broncos injuries. I know we need to do a little Broncos injury update. We'll do a Chargers one as well, because I think we're anticipating or not anticipating some players for them to be on the field on Monday. Guys, what's the update on the Broncos injuries for Monday?
What's the update? I think the biggest question, I don't know. We have quite a few limited participants, right? And that's always the ones where it's they're going to pop up either doubtful or questionable most of the time, right? So those are the ones always to watch. The guys that are DNPs to this point, Josie Jewell and Dalton Reisner, two starters, big ones for the Broncos. So I don't know. I think Josie Jewell, everyone was excited to see him. I wanted to see more of him, and it's a disappointment that he's a DNP up to this point.
Yeah, the Josie Jewell one sucks. I don't want to see him saddled with an injury-prone reputation, because I saw that happening when he had his injury earlier this season. It's the guy's had 4 or 5 injuries over 4 or 5 seasons. I think that's far from injury-prone, especially when none of them are all that serious. But yeah, hopefully he gets back soon. I think he is a valuable piece of this defense. But Alex Singleton, credit where it's due, has surpassed my expectations. I thought I was confirming my priors in that second preseason game against the Bills. I was like, oh my God, this guy's terrible. Been pretty good when he's had to fill in for Josie Jewell. So that's nice. We'll be losing Singleton though on special teams, so you're kind of downgrading at 2 positions.
Guys, I'm a little bit worried about seeing Caden Stearns on that limited report. Do you think that he will play on Monday?
I think he will. Evero made it sound today like he's still a big part of their plans and everything, and didn't even allude to him missing that time. I think the concern health-wise now is on the offensive line, really, and maybe with the running game as a whole, because of course Javonte Williams is beat up too, or not beat up, he's gone, and then you have Melvin Gordon and Latavius Murray who are a little beat up. the offensive line is just in rough shape. I see a comment asking if it's Moody season or Wattenberg season. I'm thinking Moody season. I think it'd be Moody over Wattenberg. Though Wattenberg, I think, showed some nice things in the preseason. What I'm worried about is you get the right side maybe back healthy, and now the left side's in shambles. So hopefully they can avoid that. Calvin Anderson is going to be a huge X factor on Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to allude more to that. You stole the words directly out of my mouth here. What are we looking at the O-line with the injuries and some people coming back? How does that shake out for this game for Monday? Either of you can chime in.
I don't know. I'm really worried about it, if I'm being honest. I think if you get Calvin Anderson to play well, and we've seen it before, the Panthers game and the Cowboys game, if you get the right side back and healthy, I think Quinn Miners is the best player on that offensive line. I think Billy Turner, we'll see. He hasn't had a lot of reps, but we'll see, hopefully he can be better than Cam Fleming. And then maybe Moody's not that big a drop off from Reisner. I don't know. You're having a lot of shifting pieces on the offensive line. I do think you've seen stuff from Moody, though, which gives you optimism. You've seen stuff from Calvin Anderson that gives you optimism. And Quinn Miners is really good. So that's nice. The Billy Turner one, I'm a little worried about, though, if I'm being real.
Yeah, and hey, guys, so I'll start off with this. I'm more of the draft is how I got started in this. I love the player evaluation. That's my favorite thing. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing some of these new bodies out there. Maybe from a win now perspective, it's not the best thing to just, throw wild cards out there, right? But I will say the Broncos O-line has been nothing to write home about. It hasn't been up until this point. Maybe it's okay to put new bodies in there. I'm not even going to lie. Especially that interior offensive line, I'm okay with some new names being thrown out there. I don't think it's the end of the world because I don't think what we were getting was up to par. I don't think it was the best thing ever. No proven players. The only guy that I'm really sold on this interior offensive line, top to bottom, is Quinn Miners. And he has barely played this season. But just from a talent level, he's the guy. Everybody else, I would say, hasn't played well enough to be like, you can't be replaced. I don't think anybody else in this entire interior offensive line has. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing some of the new bodies out there, if I'm being honest.
You're kind of foreshadowing what's to look forward to for the Broncos offseason, which I'm sure we will dive into quite frequently as the close to the season approaches. But we still have a lot of 2022 to go, which is why we probably should jump right into it with what we're expecting out of Monday night's game. Let's get into, unless you have anything else to say on the injury front, I think that we've obviously heard from Russell Wilson that he is improving every single day. I think that's exactly what you want to hear from your quarterback. I don't know if any of you have a Russell Wilson bold prediction, but we'll get into those as well. Zach Seeger's joining us in the chat saying, join the show by commenting. Thank you, Zach. We really appreciate your support.
Shout out to that guy.
Big fan. Hey, Joey, Bri, big fan of the content.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Thanks for following me over on Twitter. Really appreciate the support. Frankie says Pipkins could be out for the Chargers. Sailor and Storm Norton could be feeding season for Chubb and Browning. You all say?
Yeah, Frankie's hitting it on the head, man. We saw some out of Browning until he was injured in that Colts game. That was just spectacular. A lot with just elite traits. We saw it over and over and over again. And Bradley Chubb, I was giving a lot of credit to Randy Gregory early in the season, and I think he deserved it, right? Randy Gregory deserved it. But a lot of that new guy thing, you always want to talk about the new guy. Bradley Chubb has been awesome from week 1 till now. It's been absolutely awesome, both the run and the pass. So I'm really, really excited to see that. And Frankie, you're 1,000% right. Everybody also go listen to our halftime show. We're doing that on Spaces during the Broncos halftime. But go ahead.
NFL legend Sean Taylor from Beyond the Grave, however, disagreeing with Frankie, commenting Pipkins is going to play. With certainty, the fact he's even commenting on the show kind of leads me to want to give him benefit of the doubt. It's impressive.
Let's go.
Dulcich
Kevin,
high.
Oh, you're
Kevin's in
speaking
the
Bree's
chat
language.
saying Dulcich Hive. We're all about those tight ends. Me and Kevin bond over obviously not Greg Dulcich play, but maybe his potential and his ceiling. I don't know. We're really excited. I hope he gets to see some time, but obviously I don't think it's going to be right away. They're going to be cautious with him, as they have been since they've drafted him, to the behest and the frustration of both me and Kevin. Kevin, thanks for watching and chiming in over in the chat. Rock also chimed in and said Dulcich TE1. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, I so here's something I want to throw out because I always see it. Dulcich, let's say he doesn't have a very productive year, which honest to God, I'm kind of predicting, right? At this point, tight end is maybe out of every position in the NFL, the one that takes longest to develop or get to their peak, right? Because you're learning two different traits. You're learning blocking and receiving. It's not just one. You're learning two completely, entirely different things at tight end. Let's say he doesn't have the best season. Is it over for Greg Dulcich? No. I just want to throw that out there. It's not over for Greg Dulcich. Dulcich could still be a big piece in this offense going forward. I just had to throw that out there real quick because, I don't know, whenever rookies have a not a very great first season, people want to throw that bust card out there, and I've already seen that with Dulcich a couple times.
Yeah, I'm far from bust. It'll be, a few years down the line, we got to, see him play before we start labeling the guy. My hopes for Dulcich are that they give him some small piece of this offense and just ask him to execute that. And I think that's well within the possibility. Don't put the whole transition on his plate right now. And I also think he was such natural route runner at UCLA. Like, not that maybe route runner is not even the right way to describe it, but he's just
fluid. He's smooth.
He's smooth, but he naturally finds the pockets and zones and just has a natural understanding of leverage and how to use leverage to get open. And like stuff like that just translates. So I could see maybe like him as some kind of power slot, like stuff they were already implementing in the offense during the little time he was healthy in training camp. Like, I'm not saying it's a huge array, but I could see him getting, 4 or 5 snaps this week in the right situations, maybe a catch even. And I think you could build off of that as the year goes on. It's going to be a pretty sparse season in terms of his production, but I don't think that means it'll be nothing. I think he can still have a valuable, if very limited role.
Yeah,
Come on, Zach. I was hoping for you not to be a wet blanket. I was really hoping to hear he's.
I said he could have a valuable role, and he hasn't done any practice. I'm being a wet blanket. I just gave you so much Dulcich hype. It's absurd, Bri. You want me to say he's offensive rookie of the year?
He's the savior of this Broncos offense, and we can't wait to see what kind of production he has when he does see the field. I'm obviously just doing some hype for my my character build over here.
I was so positive.
I know. I just had to give you shit.
Can I throw out also Dulcich? Maybe in what's been a kind of depressing so far season for the Broncos, a player that's kind of going to be exciting to see. Right. I think that's something that we can all kind of look forward to because he is. I think most of the criticism with the Dulcich pick this offseason was more so the fit than the player. Dulcich is a really fun player. I said it earlier, but the one word I would use to describe Dulcich is smooth, man. He is so smooth. He can break and do different stuff that tight ends usually aren't doing. So, yeah, just something I'm looking forward to as well. I want to see Dulcich on film.
I do too. There's no argument for me there. Zach, what were you? Another shot? A little?
No, I'm happy. I'm laughing at Frankie's shot at Outen and Moreland, saying Outen and Moreland have been dedicating 100% of their coaching expertise towards Dulcich. This is the moment we've been waiting for, because the rest of the Broncos tight ends have been disappointing. I think that's another concern there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that is fair. We've gone through injury concerns. We've gone through what we're hopeful to see. None of those were our bold predictions. However, I am going to throw it over to, let's do Joey first for your bold prediction for Monday Night Football against the Chargers. What do you think is going to happen on Monday?
Okay, guys. I really don't have much to back this up other than this just player's really good. He's really good. Preview to the next episode. Where we're going to be talking. I'm going Patrick Surtain, interception, Justin Herbert. That is my bold prediction there?
You know, I almost went Justin Simmons interception, and then I went, that's not bold enough, and I moved off of it. But just sheer numbers game, I'll take you up on it. Though I do think Surtain's due. He does feel due for one.
He does. He feels due for one, and what better would it be against a division rival?
And he's already a pick six against Justin Herbert last year, I think, was the moment a lot of the nation woke up to how great Patrick Surtain was during his rookie year. But yeah, I'll take you on that, Joey. I'll bet against it.
Okay, so you didn't think it was hot enough. Keep that in mind. Bri, what is yours?
I absolutely think that's going to happen. I was going to go as bold as to say with Justin Simmons returning that it would be both Justin Simmons and Patrick Surtain getting an interception.
Wow.
That's hilarious. We all went the same place. That's great.
We all went the
Yeah, no, but I honestly feel the defense is going to have a heck of a game. This is where they get to shine. You're obviously not only having an AFC West rival game, they've had a little bit of a backslide. And although I think they're a little bit tired and overworked, I don't think that that's going to dull them whatsoever. I'm expecting a big game only out of Patrick Surtain because that's just what he does. And obviously Justin Simmons has been raring to go since being out with that very ill-timed and just unforeseen injury that he was unfortunately out for far too long with. So I think they both come back, not missed a step. Plus you have defensive players out there like Caden Stearns, who has just stepped in without any sort of trouble. Kareem Jackson, who's been playing absolutely outstanding with Simmons out, just holding up that veteran position on the roster for this defense. So I'm thinking the defense has an incredible day. They're going to, how about I just go with limiting Justin Herbert's yards and or completions. I can't get you a number just yet. I will get you one after Zach goes. But Zach probably went the same damn direction we all did. Zach, what was yours?
A little. I'm going sacks here, though, to I think Frankie's comment earlier about how they're going to victimize this offensive line. I totally see it. The Barron, Browning, Bradley, Chubb brigade is just going to, it's going to be beautiful. I am going, so here's the thing. Justin Herbert has only been sacked 5 times all season. He has never been sacked more than twice in any game. And there's only been one game where he's been sacked more than once. I say the Broncos double that game high amount, and they sack him 4 times in this one. So he hasn't been sacked more than twice all season. He gets sacked 4 times in this game.
Question, what is a reasonable amount of pressures on Justin Herbert?
It's a good question. Let me do some research.
Yeah, you do some research, and I'm going to say, okay, yeah, if we combine the 4 sacks and 1 interception, I think that justifies, right, that the defense is having. That's not a bold prediction. That's just what your expectation is out of this defense at this point. So why don't we, level up a little bit and say that, yeah, sacks is going to be huge for Justin Herbert, because if you can limit his throwing, you're going to win this game. I also think that the Broncos defense can hold Justin Herbert to under 285 passing yards.
Wow. You guys
I like it. Average number of pressures Justin Herbert has gotten in a game this season is 11. Broncos being a more pressure-happy unit, maybe you dial that number up a little bit to 14, 15, somewhere in there would probably be the expectation. But again, Justin Herbert's so good at avoiding those pressures because he is such a big body, making sure they don't turn into sacks. That's like, he is getting pressured a lot, absolutely, but he's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league. His sack rate of 2.3%, despite him being pressured more than ever, just about, is the lowest of his career by nearly half his previous career best. So very, very difficult quarterback to sack. I say the Broncos sack him 4 times in this game.
I am taking your bet, Zach, without doubt. I don't think the Broncos will get 4 sacks in this game, for all the reasons you detailed on why it's such a hot take. That's the reason why. It's just something that would be very unlikely. I guess it could happen. If that happens, huge credit to the Broncos defensive line. That's one thing. So you're predicting the Broncos defensive line to have like a really big game, pretty much.
100%. 100%.
I'll take your bet.
Okay, I'm also going to take it. I don't think I gave a decision on Joey's, but I am in agreement with yours, obviously. So I just wanted that to be on record here for the Let's Talk
Not
Broncos
taking
community.
Joey's. You're both taking mine. And then Bri, what is yours exactly again?
Let's do holding Justin Herbert to under 285 passing yards. I don't think that's super bold, but I think that it's enough considering it's Justin Herbert, and I think the secondary has his number.
It's true. Damari Mathis is out. Keenan Allen should be playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are two. Ronald Darby is out. Damari Mathis is on the injury report. Okay, but Zach, here's the thing. I gotta say something for you.
I can't take Bri. What are you saying to me, Joey?
I gotta say something. You can't take this one because if the Broncos' defensive line is as dominant as you're saying,
and also here's the other thing: the Broncos. I just looked it up. I wouldn't have taken it even. My bet aside, not Justin Herbert. The Broncos haven't allowed passing attack to go, or they've only allowed a passing attack to go over 250 yards once, and that was MVP candidate Geno Smith. So I don't think.
I'll drop it to
how he was
275.
dicing up the Saints defense. I think that's more forgivable. I think they'll. I'm with you, Bri. I think they'll limit Herbert, and I actually like how the secondary kind of matches up this week. I think the loss of Ronald Darby is really going to hurt the Broncos, but I think they can mitigate it some this week. You're going to have K'Wan Williams in the slot on Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen's not fully at 100%. And then you're going to have Patrick Surtain on Mike Williams. I can live with both of those matchups. And then the Josh Palmer, Damari Mathis one, I don't know. I think there's a lot of receivers that might be big mismatches against Damari Mathis. I don't think Josh Palmer's one of them. And this offense is also so static, so little movement and explosion.
I'm gonna level up and make it a little bit more richer. I'm gonna drop it down to 275, which was what I was originally going to say. So that doesn't help either or. Yeah, that sounds fair.
I'll take it. Why not? Just because I want. Just because I feel like it. No other reason. I think that Justin Herbert. Well, there's reasons. Justin Herbert's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think that's very, very true. Keenan Allen's on pace to play. That's another factor in this that we haven't seen. Austin Eckler's a great receiving back. It's really going to be on that Broncos defensive line in my mind. If they're able to do what Zach's saying, Justin Herbert really won't. But Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. I'll take you, Bri.
Whatever. I do want to ask the chat that if anyone's watching and you have a bold prediction that you want to share with everybody, go ahead and comment it. We're going to highlight those next. We're going to jump right into that as well. It's weird because I feel like we're all like, what's the best that could happen? I'm not taking any offense bets here. I'm not taking any scoring bets, although Cortland Sutton would have been the first touchdown scorer against the Colts as well had they actually scored a touchdown, but they didn't. So I'm staying away from all of that, although we do have a very interesting question in the chat that I wanted to highlight real quick. I'm hearing murmurs of Mitch Trubisky trading to Denver. Thoughts? Let's react to this.
Yeah, Bill Barnwell wrote it in his trade deadline prediction article, or way too early trade deadline prediction. I think he wasn't really saying any sourcing behind it or anything. He was more just starting the conversation of man, the Broncos look like this Russell Wilson thing might be off the rails. He was more experimenting than saying this is something that could happen. And that's because this isn't something that could happen. I just want to defend Barnwell there because I think he's a good analyst, and I don't want to see him buried on this because he wasn't saying this is going to happen. It's totally unrealistic. The part of that article I did put a good bit of merit in was the idea of trading Albert O. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's a trade that will hurt Broncos country because I think he goes elsewhere and is productive because I don't think it's a talent problem. I think it's a usage problem. But hey, you're not going to use him. You're not going to get anything out of him. Ship him elsewhere, get a draft pick.
Yeah, to Zach's point, I don't think this will happen. It doesn't make any sense. The Broncos coaching staffs, their jobs are on the line. George Paton's, even his job is on the line with this Russell Wilson experiment. It's important for this to work for them. They can't just give up on it already. Mitch Trubisky, and also especially if it's Mitch Trubisky, you can't give up on the Russell Wilson experiment for Mitch Trubisky. But yeah, to Zach's point, it just sounds like, I don't know, just like an experiment, right? I totally agree with the Albert O thing. I think it makes sense that they trade him, especially that they drafted Dulcich. I don't think people remember this, but Dulcich hurt every game now, came out of training camp not playing as on the depth chart tight end 1. That's a pretty crazy thing. So I think that Albert O is expensible to the Broncos right now. Like he could be traded.
D-Rock says, imagine the Michael Scott meme as I type this. No, for the love of God, no. I'm right there with you, D-Rock, but it is a lot about usage. It's not that Albert O isn't talented. It's that he's not being utilized in a way that's profitable for the Broncos or Albert. I absolutely love him. I loved him since I first saw him at training camp. I think he's just he stands out in a crowd, not only with just obviously how statuesque he is, but also his ability to play. But there's also a question here from Rock Walker, not related. Would we get anything for Albert? I mean, picks are picks. I think it would actually be substantially high considering the need for tight ends, especially with that skill set, is important. Zach, what do you think they'd get for Alberto?
Yeah, what I've heard thrown around by other media people is like high end, like conditional 5th, and then a 6th, 7th, probably more realistic, kind of what Frankie's saying here. And no, that's not great, but it's better than getting 0 out of him.
I just want everyone to know that Joey is sending me mean messages about tight ends, and I don't appreciate it. But we're not going to air those grievances live on the pod. I just wanted everyone to know without any sort of context. Samuel chimes in and says that it's coaching on why they don't use him. I think that's fair. D-Rock comes back with 4th or 5th.
Yup. Ding, ding, ding. Bingo. Yeah.
I also say something, though. I need to say something. The Broncos drafted Dulcich, which should lead you to the belief that they never really thought Albert O was the long-term guy.
100%. And what Hackett was saying in the thing. But I just think you saw improved blocking from Dulcich last year, and you saw him be a good receiver. He had something where he was like top 4 among tight ends in EE yards or something crazy like that. Like he had some flashes of like really great play. And I don't know. It feels a little like Mike Gesicki to me, where it's like, I don't know. He's a talented player. Figure out how to use him. I agree that the coaching staff never was all that into the Alberto experiment. We've seen him be a productive NFL player. I think wherever he lands, he's probably a productive NFL player. And I don't know. I do put it a little on the coaching staff that they couldn't figure it out.
That's kind of how I feel too. I kind of like Frankie's comment about we should establish a parlay for the next time we do a betting game. We
could each throw in one part. I have a part picked right now. I could vamp while you guys look for a bet to make in the leg of a parlay.
Well, I'm looking at Justin Herbert's passing yards, and they're set over under at 263.5. I'm going to take. I think that's close enough to what I wanted that I would be comfortable enough throwing that on there.
The under?
The under at 263, I think I can buy it.
Oh my goodness. Your bold prediction is plus money from Vegas. Oh my goodness. I like that. So I'll throw that in the under 263.5 on Justin Herbert. I also think I'm looking for him. I think I might throw in, oh man, it just vanished. Wilson over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
So he just has to have two Wilson touchdowns.
Okay.
Defense is bad.
I'm banging the under, bro. So far from what I've seen, I'm banging the under.
We're getting ballsy. We're throwing it into the parlay.
Ooh,
I think this Chargers pass defense is bad. This is the let's ride parlay.
Joey,
this is the let's ride parlay. This is crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk bets. Joey, what do you think happens Monday during the game? Do you have a rushing, passing, receiving or possibly a score prediction that we could add to this parlay. You can even make it a Chargers prop.
Okay, I'm gonna need some of these over-unders from the Vegas lines. Can we get like
Sure.
I'll
Yeah.
give you. They've got. Do you want it on like stats or?
give me a player? Give me a player.
I'll
I
go
wanna-
rushing because we've already talked passing. Eckler is right at. Looks for me around like
Christopher's
60.
taking my bet on the yards. Herbie doesn't have
60,
250 yards.
60 yards rushing.
Yeah,
I would hit the under, me personally.
I like
What do you
it.
guys
They've
think
been a
about
really
that?
ineffective run game. I really like it.
Well, I have Eckler on
Frankie,
fantasy. I know
like
all
that
about
a
it.
lot.
Do a
Too
Melvin
bad
anytime
Frankie's
soon.
not a part of it.
I might just take
No.
that on my own.
I like Melvin anytime touchdown, little revenge game. He has played well against the Chargers in the
Ooh,
past.
Christopher says Eckler easily gets 60 yards rushing.
I disagree. I don't think so. That's right where Vegas is putting the line, and I don't think he does because that Chargers run game has been arguably the worst in the NFL so far this season. I know they ate up the Browns, but that I do not put any stock in run games tearing up the Browns because everyone is tearing up the Browns. Let's bet, Chris. Let's do it. What's on the table? I would love a Trey Lance Bison jersey, Christopher. If you could figure that out,
That would be so cool. Okay. I'm not even gonna say which jersey I want. Never mind.
Anytime touchdown scorers are not available yet on my book. So once they are, I'll be placing that bet, Frankie, for Melvin Gordon as anytime touchdown scorer.
For Christopher.
But we still don't have this parlay build. We'll get back to you. We'll post it on Twitter.
We did under 60 rushing yards
for Eckler. Under 60.
Under 60, under 265 yards or whatever for Herbert.
Are we being Broncos biased right now? Are we being Broncos biased right now? Are we? This is something we have to evaluate.
This is bold. This is bold. This is
money is on the line.
I'm putting my money on it right now. Although
I'm going to put money on this too.
Eckler's yards for me are at 58.
We'll ride together. We'll lose together. We'll probably lose together.
Bad boys for life.
You join us. Go in. Don't blame us.
I know we're jinxing this, but it's okay. We'll run with it.
This is not betting advice. This is all what is Bri putting her money on and will most likely lose. You don't know. Nobody has to play along. Christopher says, I'm saving this video. I'm scared. What happened? Is it because Zach is threatening you? Please don't.
No, because we're making a $20 bet.
Oh, okay. Take Eckler over 60, $20 bet. Oh God, there's a gnat in my hair. All right, well, good to you. Samuel Castro says 2 stacks. I don't know how much money that is. Is that 200? I don't know how this works.
That would be 2,000, Bri.
Oh. I don't just have that money to throw around. You're going to see a $20 max bet out of me. All right, gentlemen. That is the most fun that I've had trying to talk bold predictions with y'all, only because we're sharing a brain right now. I think we'll probably be sharing a brain later on as we toast a little bourbon to the first quarter of the Broncos season. We're going to get out of here, have some fun. But before we do, we're going to do Joey's question of the day.
Yes, Joey's question of the day. So I'm curious with you guys. I want to know. So Clinton Portis played 2 seasons with the Broncos, right? And ended up being traded for Champ Bailey. Ended up being a really good trade. That was before people started to realize that, hey, that cornerback position is a lot more valuable and it lasts longer than that running back position, right? But I'm curious, what were the combined rushing yards between Clinton Portis' first and second season as a Bronco?
Combined rushing, first and second season.
Yeah.
One of those years he went off.
He was only 2 years. I can give you the years. It was 2002 and 2003.
One's going to be high, and the other one's going to be half that, which is what justified the trade. I'm going 165 minus 7, 1820.
Oh, I could box you out here and be really mean and say like 1830, but I'm going to be sporting. I'll say 3,000.
I think you're just following Chris because he answered in the chat.
Well, I know he went like 18. I didn't see his. I was actually almost going to say 3,100. But I think he got 1831 one year, and then I think he got
So
like 13 something the second year.
I'm going to read these stats, and it'll start to make sense. Because, okay, so for example, in 2002, I was 4 years old. I didn't get to watch Clinton Portis. So I always thought growing up that trade, so stupid. Champ Bailey, obviously the better player. But at the time, Clinton Portis finished with 1,508 rushing yards as a rookie with 15 rushing touchdowns. As of 2003, his second year, 1,591 with 14 touchdowns.
Way off. So yeah,
insane.
3,000 yards and 36 touchdowns his first 2 seasons in the NFL.
29 touchdowns. Really 29 touchdowns, but ridiculous. I didn't look at receiving touchdowns. He had 2 receiving touchdowns during that time, but ridiculous stats. And he really, I mean, he had 1,300 the next year with Washington, 1,500 the next year after that with Washington. I mean, he was a hell of a back, man. His stats are insane. Yeah,
Chris, what's up?
You're getting
who did we draft to replace Portis with our second round pick? I want to say Tatum Bell, but I think it was before Tatum Bell, right?
I think he was I don't know.
Was it Orlandis Gary or something? Okay, we've got an audience member giving us a trivia question, which is who did we draft to replace Portis with our second round pick? I'm gonna go.
I don't know why Chris is yelling now.
You guys pick someone else. Yeah,
screaming at us.
It's Tatum Bell. Damn, Zach. Hey, Knuckles, bro. That was good. That was good. That was actually really good. I wouldn't have known.
Tatum Bell.
You wouldn't know that because you both were not even born at that time, and I don't know because I don't like trivia. I love this show. Love talking Broncos with all of you. Thank you for tuning in, watching the show, commenting, throwing your bold predictions. We'll throw that bet up here over on Twitter. I'm definitely going to take it because I like it and it gives me something to look forward to. Zach, Joey, where can everyone find your work?
Yeah, everybody, go follow me at JR Drafts. Read all my writing at Mile High Sports, and then make sure you're checking out Frankie, who's in the comments right now. I love Frankie. Love talking ball with Frankie. We do a halftime show on Twitter, so come join our Twitter spaces. It's always a lot of fun. It's that instant reaction stuff. I enjoy that because during the Broncos games, I won't even lie, I turn into a chaotic person, like a fan during it. I just go crazy. So if you want to hear that side of this whole analysis thing, go make sure you're following that. Yeah, and at Frankie's Films, maybe make sure you go following him for sure.
Yeah, and then milehighsports.com for me. I'll have all my writing over there, daily stuff, game preview coming up tomorrow. Had a fun quote piece today and like yesterday and whatnot about it being a must-win game and Marshawn Lynch coming to back Russell Wilson, some of the big storylines from the week. So check those out over there. And then Zach_Seegers on Twitter.
You can find me over on Twitter as well, Bri Maestas 303. That's where I engage with everyone and interact and all that fun stuff. I won't respond on Facebook or Instagram. So go ahead and follow me over there. And then you can catch me on the Fan Cave on Mondays, 1 to 2 p.m. That's sponsored by Drives at Mile High. Shouts out to them. Love talking football every Monday. Zach Seegers usually joins me. So if you want tidbits and everything, we'll be doing a preview show on Monday prior to the game and kickoff. So you can catch me over there. Then you can see me on Let's Talk Broncos every single day with these guys. Well, every single weekday. Not Thursdays, though, because we take a little break. But you will see us tomorrow for a special preview for Monday Night Football. We'll talk to you then. You guys are so great. Appreciate you watching. And we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Let's go.